Thormun's eternal night. Heroes from across worlds stand and unite. No other foe or force can match their might. The once great people of this world now hide in fear. All chaos shaken by the power of sword and spear. The black-clad armies of the Dark One now draw near. But in the distance, the sergeant and the bear appear. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. We spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. We spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Legions of Romans stand and let their arrows fly. The roaring of dragons and machines pierce the sky. Secret agents and the generals they defy. Swarms of orcs and samurai raise their banners high. In the wake of death, only one man stands alone. The sergeant raises his sword, high silver shone. He condemns the chaos the monarch is has sown. He stands longing for the day he may return home. Great heroes of past and law, no power has seen before. We spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Until the war for the world springs is won, they will fight until there are none. But Achille will stand alone as one, and the bloodshed is finally done. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. We spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation. Great heroes of past the law, no power has seen before. We spread far across the sky, marching across the great divide to save the world from deterioration, to end the age of annihilation, 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 to end the age of annihilation.
Welcome to ToV Live. It is Valhalla time. It is time once again to dive into some Thormun's journals. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ToV Podcast, episode 71. Wow, my goodness, in the 70s now. And hello there. Hello there to Major Midnight.
We're in the 70s.
We're in the 70s now. Hello. Major Midnight, Escape, and Melnight Studios. They're in the chat. Welcome tonight.
Welcome, people. Welcome
to the stream.
Hello.
Hope everybody's doing great. We're proceeding. We're going on, and in spite of the apparent weather that's happened, because just for full disclosure, I'm about 25 minutes away from Somerset, Kentucky. So yeah, it was pretty nasty over the weekend, and we were without power for a little while, but came back on, so we are continuing. We're continuing now. And we are going to do a little bit of reading of Thormun's journal. We also have a YouTuber shout out. And yes, and a congrats to Joe Crazy, who did get married. So now he is now a married man. That's right. I got it. Okay, yes. Ryan Tales of Valhalla, Josiah Heroscaper, Joe Crazy, newly married man. Everybody applaud. Yay. Thank you, Major Midnight, for that reminder.
Thank you, Major Midnight. Thank you.
Yep. But anyway, yes. So, Thormun's journal. Have a YouTuber shout out as well as some comments at the end. So I think what we'll get started first is a quick YouTuber shout out. And here, I gotta hit my share button. Gotta hit my share button on Discord. And I think Premium Escape is saying, Rogue, your Sir Heroscape paintings were incredible. What's that about? Sir Heroscape.
So Sir Heroscape reached out to me. He said he had a bunch of stuff that he wanted to get painted. So I hooked him up with some paint jobs. I painted 2 Dragoons and some Master Set figures for him, and Adelburn. So he kind of gave me a little shout out in his last video.
Nice.
And which is cool. Sir Heroscape is kind of the big name of Heroscape. So it was fun to be able to send him some stuff his way.
Oh, definitely. No, yeah. We all love Sir Heroscape. He's a great guy. But right now, to shout out, now this is a name that you all probably know, Board Hero. But Board Hero decided to separate his YouTube channels from Board Hero, just creating and crafting certain game tables and such. And this new channel called Board Hero Valhalla, where he's going to focus primarily on the Heroscape content. So, I mean, he only got like, some 36 subscribers on there. So now we can give him more. He already has a little bit of an audience. And I just wanted to give some encouragement and shout out to folks to check out Board Hero Valhalla YouTube channel, Board Hero's second channel. That's where he's going to have all his Heroscape stuff in the future. And you all know who he is. He actually appeared on a stream with us some time ago. Hopefully we'll get him again sometime in the future as well. So definitely.
We'll also be painting Haluchot on the Renegade Con.
Yes.
So
Yes. June 6th.
June 6th.
Is that June 6th?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So definitely give him some love. Give him a subscription if you can. All right. Now let me stop getting that. Get out of that. And then we are going to get into the reading of the journals in a moment. I just got to hit the right buttons here.
Yeah, there's quite a bit here. There's like about 3 pages.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot
to finish off.
34.
There's quite a bit of stuff.
On entry 34, ladies and gentlemen, and we have half a page, and then a full page, and then another full page, and then we have 35, which is about 75% of a page. So,
lots to dive into here. Okay, if I can just get this up here. All right, get this one, get that one, and let's embiggen this. Okay.
Embiggen. The newest size for the Heroscape lore, embiggen.
Bigger than huge.
Is that what that NGC figure does? It embiggins people?
I know I've heard that word somewhere, and I forget where that word is from. I know I picked that up from somewhere. I don't remember, though, where exactly.
The embiggener.
Major Midnight, June 6th, D-Day. We'll have to remember Harold Kemp. You absolutely darn right. You absolutely darn right. Yep. That makes me think makes me think of my grandpa, actually. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Is your grandpa named Harold Gimp?
No, his name was Harold. That's
Oh,
where
okay.
I created the character of Gimp, based off
Hmm.
my grandfather a little bit. Actually, both my grandfathers were veterans, and one World War
Get
II,
out.
one Korea. So I kind of based that character off of them. So yep.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. So are we ready to tackle journal entry?
Yeah, let's jump
34?
in. That image on the screen looks like Shuri.
Sure. Yep.
So we'll see if that's what we're talking about.
We'll see. I guess what I'll do. I guess I'll start reading this. Let me see here. How many pages are we? Okay. I'll read. I'll just start reading.
You want
I'll just read the first page and a half.
read after that. I was gonna say maybe right before Ack on like the bottom of the second page, and I'll pick it up there.
Okay.
Once it goes to Ack, stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to remember that. All right. Journal entry 34, inscribed by Thormun of Tayloron on this 27th day of Aranvig. I released Kelda from her guard duty. No reason she should have to avoid sleep, while sleep does its best to avoid me. The night sky is starless, and I am surrounded in a blanket of deep darkness. My lookout duty has me doing more listening than looking. I sit here with my eyes open, but sightless, my ears focused on the blackness around me. My mind drifts to thoughts of home, to thoughts of the Tayloron that once was. I walk back through a window in time, pulling in the smell of herbs drying in the window of the stonework house my younger brother keeps. His beautiful wife busies herself about the garden while the children play their games, flying about the large tree that grows in front of the house. The young ones spot me and fly down to wrap their arms around me, all at once, nearly knocking me over backwards. I pull wooden toys out of a satchel and watch their small eyes glitter with excitement. The dream was broken. A sound rustles behind me. Silently, I turn and strain to see through the darkness with no success. The sound is that of our supplies being prodded through. Maybe an animal or one of our company who was not satisfied with their ration of food last night. I stalk toward the direction of the sound, moving silently through the dark. My eyes catch the glow of a light dim, but a beacon in the blackness. A slight figure hunches over its back to me. The figure has come across some of our Balin leaf, which we carry for its healing properties, but also lets out a slight glow visible in the dark. The form revealed in the Balin leaf's glow is slender, and in the shallow glimmering of yellow-green, I can tell it is the shape of a woman, a very young woman. Her hands nimbly pick through our supplies until she comes across a loaf of bread. She pulls at a cloth mask around her face and chews on the bread in famished mouthfuls. In a low voice, I call out, "Who are you? What do you think you're doing?" Startled, the girl reels around as if to take off, but pauses and reaches back to grab another loaf before she goes. I catch hold of her arm. She fights my grasp and throws the stolen bread at my chest. The noise of the struggle wakes up Kelda, who has not fully drifted into sleep. Lighting a torch, Kelda comes over to where I'm holding the bread thief captive. By now, I've got a hold of both of the girl's thin arms, and am sustaining surprisingly powerful kicks. "Stop it," Kelda whispers to the girl in a harsh voice. She stops kicking and looks over at Kelda. Her demeanor reads in such a way that you can tell her intent is not to cause us any harm. "Tell this brute to let go of me," the girl shouts, in a voice loud enough to wake every sleeping thing within 100 yards. "Swear you won't run," says Kelda.
Ack!
Okay.
I won't run. Just tell him to let go. The girl responds in a shrill voice. Kelda nods at me, and I let the girl go. More and more torches light up the darkness as the rest of the camp is awakened by our encounter with the young thief. The girl immediately reaches for the purple cloth mask she pulled away from her face to eat her stolen meal and hides herself behind it again. Who are you? And why are you stealing our food? I ask in a stern voice. Shuri's the name, and I stole it because I was hungry, says the thin girl in a mocking voice. Where did you come from? I've been following you ever since you crossed the bridge. I know you didn't notice me. My skills of stealth are unmatched. I'm going to be the greatest ninja who ever lived. Why? Why are you following us? I ask in a gruff voice, annoyed at answers that required more questioning. I'm running away, she says, lifting chin in defiance. I let go of a sigh and then press further. Running away from what? She responds with a spark of anger in her voice. From everything! From everything! And everyone who tells me what to do and who to fight. I was brought here by them, she says, nodding in the direction of Lion's frame. But I fight only for myself. I'm not going back, so you can forget about telling me to. I'm going with you guys. You don't have a horse. You'll never keep up. You'll be stranded in Bleakwood and die. You don't want me to die, she says with big eyes. I guess you're going to have to give me a ride. Kelda pulls my arm and whispers in my ear. She could be a spy. I whisper back. What have we to hide? What need is there to spy on your allies? I'm just saying to be wary of her. We could leave her behind and let her foolishly follow us into Bleakwood if she pleases. I'm not saying to do that. I'm only saying be careful. Of a masked thief? Yes, you can count on my being plenty cautious.
Okay. So, and hello, Jason. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hey!
We're just starting reading through this journal entry 34, and then we'll do 35 in a moment. But okay, so Shiori introduction, her lore. Even though she's allied with Einar, it seems like in this particular thing she's very independent. You know, very young, very independent. That does her own thing. What are the thoughts? You know, I actually almost got like a Peter Pan vibe from her a little bit. You know, like
I can see that.
kind of carefree, almost. I like the little bit of comedy in there when she's going to leave, but then she grabs another loaf of bread. It's like, I gotta think.
You
about
won't
this.
let me go to Bleakwood and die there, will you?
Yeah, she knows she's got skills and isn't afraid to use them for sure.
Now, if I misheard that, did Thormun say his wife at some point?
His brother's wife.
Oh, his brother's wife. Okay.
Very early on.
At first, I was like, "Wait, is he hooking up with Kelda? Is that what's happening here?"
No, he's having a vision of the past, I think.
Okay.
Of better times, and so he's having a vision of, or just basically a recollection of family, of his brother's family, apparently. And my guess is his brother's family is no longer around.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, feeling that sense of loss and probably regret too. That comes to my mind in that. This particular entry, it feels to me like it has a beginning, but not really an ending. And that makes sense if we're talking about mainly Shiori here, and and how she basically gets started. And she's a character to where, I mean, her story arc isn't as told as much as other characters, but she does have an arc, including what's currently going on in Age of Annihilation as well. She's
Absolutely.
around, yeah. She's still, you know, being useful for whatever ventures. But it's funny how she starts out. She's Einar brings her to Valhalla, and she's basically starving.
Yeah.
Aye.
Also interesting, this Balin leaf that they mention is kind of cool. It's got a glow and has healing properties. So I guess they're making it a tea? Would that be possible?
Or maybe like a salve or a wrap or something. I like how Kelda's still there, but they're like, just in case you roll one Kelda, we got some extra backups just in case.
Yeah.
And Premiumscape, if you want to see Kelda used, watch Tales of Valhalla seasons 2 and 3. Kelda's used quite a bit. I kind of like dive into her character a little bit. It might not be pure Heroscape canon character, but I still give her character. It's pretty fun.
Little Stanley pop up in the corner. You want more of Kelda? Watch Tales of Valhalla. Episode's 2 and 3.
Do it now. But yeah, what else can we say about this?
It's interesting. This is the first time we get someone summoned to Valhalla, and we're getting to see them not wanting to fight. You know, this is kind of the first instance. AOA has lots of it, so it's not as special. But we see Shiori's here. She's just just a girl at this point, and she's just kind of on her own. If you abandon your general, you're kind of just, you can see it, you're kind of starving and on just kind of like a scavenger at this point.
And it does beg the question, when you get summoned, are you summoned right next to the general, the Valkyrie general, and he's like, "You're here to do what I want. Do what I tell you. Fight for me." You know, do they get spawned to a waiting lobby or something? They get processed. Like, how does this work? It's so interesting because then of course Shuri's like, "I'm about this business," and just like is out. And thank God she was a ninja. Can you imagine if she was a bad ninja and couldn't leave? That'd be pretty funny.
Well, she kind of is a bad ninja here.
Here she's a bad ninja, but she got rid of it. She got away from Einar, but couldn't get past Thormun. All right, that's
you bad ninja, bad ninja. Go in that corner. Yeah, but you have a.
I mean, the question you'd have to ask is with the Valkyrie general is if someone's basically defecting or AWOL, do they have the forces to go and deal with that? Like, do they feel like send in some military police type unit to go hunt that person down, or it's like, it ain't worth it?
Right. Like, I summoned this ninja here, and who processed her in? Did anyone ever do any paperwork? Do we have any script on this character and this person? Do they even know she's missing? Like, what is... Just bringing people in, and that's it? It's like, I think there was a ninja. I don't remember. I can't think of it. It doesn't matter.
From what I remember, Shiori's past before Valhalla, I think either she was betrayed or she betrayed somebody. I know she had some dirt, and I know Jeremy I think has explained it better in the past, but she definitely had things happen to her and choices made that for such a young character, she already had lived a lot via her training, because she didn't become a ninja in Valhalla. That she was she was trained, and that's one of the reasons why Einar brought her. And it's interesting with the character too, and it connects with the game too. She's not your typical just like I'm gonna send her into an army and just she's not what's the word I'm saying? She's not a direct unit to use. She's used more indirectly if you're gonna use her at all, which usually you're not.
Maybe with the Tanuki now, she might have see some more light of day.
There
Yeah.
might be the possibility. Yeah. So I think that but it just fits, with the stats and the description of her card too, her abilities and such. So, but yeah, and of course, not much is said about Kelda. Only
No.
she's
She's being very motherly and be like, "You sure about this? Are you sure about this?"
It makes me wonder who's in charge. Is Thormun or Kelda? I guess it's probably Kelda.
Yeah. I guess militaristically.
Yeah.
I guess. Because Thormun is still a journalist at this point, so he's just kind of. I don't know. He's not really. He's with everybody, writing down everything he sees.
If you go to the top of 34, though, doesn't it say, "I release Kelda from her guard duty," implying that he has command over her?
I mean, that can mean many things. That doesn't mean he's in charge. He's just be like he's the one taking over guard duty now, basically.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Like they just take turns.
What's interesting too, because this is pre Swarm of the Morrow, so this is introducing the Shiora character to eventually what will be the original team up when you get to Swarm of the Morrow. So now this is a question to ask and get answered in the future: is was her character introduced before Swarm of the Morrow came out? Did this journal entry get released before or after that master set released?
Yeah, the time. Once again, I wish they put dates because I think and correct me if I'm wrong. I have not looked at one because I want to wait until we're done with all of this to read the journal entries coming out in AOA. But are they dating Are they dating their journals? Are they putting like dates on like this stuff so we can kind of go back?
Like the same as like they do in these journal entries.
Usually.
Yeah, it's just
okay, at least the month. That's fine. Even if you say like month of 20, 24, 25, whatever.
Do that. Yeah.
Okay.
With
good
stuff. Yeah.
So at least we can start keeping track. No. I mean, to me, it matters a little bit because we keep asking this question of like when are these? Is this the first time we ever seen this character? And you go, who is this ninja? Are we getting a ninja? Like, because there are a bunch of characters we have been introduced to that we've never, still have to this day, have not gotten.
Right.
So
character mentions. Yep. Well, I mean,
one day Orm will return again.
Yeah.
I mean, even the character of Thormun and this extended family that he had. I mean, it's just characters written in with the story. We don't have any units of those either.
No.
It'd be interesting to have like Thormun's brother on the battlefield, but maybe he's like reanimated from the dead or something, And,
God!
On Revna's side would be really cool.
That would be.
Oh, that would be so fascinating. Yeah. Oh my god!
All I'm saying is Thormun has been so quiet in AOA. I think the next master set, I think he's showing up. I think he's going to become a general. Like, I'm waiting for that day because he's such a unique character, especially in the initial HasLab trailer. Like, there's always this sense of kind of like esotericism with Thormun. He's always dreaming. He's always having visions. He's like tapped into the greatest power, and he's the impetus for all this fighting. But he's like so haunted by it that he's always kind of standoffish. The moment he decides to take action, I think the story's going to get really interesting.
I think you are probably right, because it's one character that we haven't really heard much about, and might piece of bread. Hello there, Tony214 in the chat. Welcome. But yeah, no, I think those are good thoughts. So I guess we'll close for this journal entry 34. We're introducing Shiori and our thoughts on that. For just continuing quest of going through the classic journals of Heroscape. All right, and now we will go on to journal entry 35. Wait a second. Is this just one page?
It is just one page.
Just one page. Okay. Who should? Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Jason, how about you get first two paragraphs, and then Josiah can get the last paragraph. How about that? And this is the last Travels and Travails journal. So this whole line of journal entries for this quote unquote book, it's called Travels and Travails. And then the next time we read journal entries, it's actually going to be something. It's going to be a different titled group of writings. So let's take a look. Journal entry 35. Jason, go ahead.
From the pen of Sergeant Drake Alexander. Streams of light shooting in through arrow-slit windows are made visible by particles of dust floating on the air. The room is rather stuffy. A great number of people are gathered around an oversized wooden table, making the otherwise moderately large room seem small. At the head of the table stands Adliga, a tall Curie with long blonde hair. He is one of Ular's men in charge of the stronghold here, and he speaks authoritatively. Beldun and Thormun have returned. An alliance has been formed between the Valkyrie Ular, Jandar, Einar, and Vidar. Some of you are here as a result of that alliance. As you all know, trouble stirs in the swamplands and jungles to the south. It has been decreed that a small band of warriors will brave the Valkyrian wastelands and venture into the jungles below. The goal is to scout out the jungle and return with whatever news can be gathered. Jandar has foreseen that the jungles hold a secret of great significance in the war for the Wellsprings, and has sent Sergeant Drake Alexander and Raylan the Curie warrior for the purposes of leading the proposed band of warriors.
Okay, Josiah.
Raylan stands and speaks out in that clear and confident tone of hers. We have chosen the heroes who accompany us on our journey. Sonlin, the elven mage, for his knowledge and skill with the magical arts. Major Q10, a leader in Vidar's army, successfully quelled the most recent attack by the Morrow on this very stronghold. And finally, the young ninja that Einar summoned, who accompanied Thormun's party on the return trip from Lynn's farm. Thusly, our company will have representatives from each of the 4 allied Valkyrie generals.
Woohoo! And here we go. The original
the
team.
Fellowship.
Yes, basically. The Fellowship of Valhalla. And so this is basically leading into the Swarm of the Morrow story arc, which I would consider probably the best thing that came out of original Heroscape. Basically, was that story arc, because you actually have like a unification, a narrative of people that gather together, on a goal, on a quest. And I think that's when things got interesting and brought together. So this is the beginning of it. So you kind of like for journal entry 34, you kind of needed journal entry 34 to get to journal entry 35 to introduce the last of the group, Shiori.
Mm.
So and when it comes to Brett, well, we did talk about Brett in actually journal entry 34.
We did talk about Brett,
so
yeah.
It kind of works, although it had nothing to do with Sergeant Drake, but it works for me.
For those audio listeners, we'll sum this up real quick. A visitor came in, guy Tony. He happened to see the thumbnail that I had made.
Yes, Tony,
where if you guys happen to go on YouTube I'm saying for the listeners.
Spotify listeners.
Spotify listeners.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out, thank you so much for listening. If you happen to go check out the thumbnails that we do for the journal entries, I use this PNG file of a scroll, and I put images that would be on scrolls. Anyway, he thought it looked like a bread, and so we're talking about Sergeant Drake on bread. That's what he thought the image was on the thumbnail, and now Premiumscape is talking about putting bread on his thumbnails. So if you start to scroll through YouTube and people are just putting bread on their thumbnails, we now know why. So Let's
I
actually
want to
start
open
that
up a
trend.
sandwich shop with specialty Heroscape named sandwiches. Like the Drake Alexander is a good name for a sandwich. Like
I mean,
Now I'm getting hungry.
there's actually a sandwich shop not too far from me called Wally's, based on the Griswold adventure. The
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
oh my god, why can't I think of it? National Lampoon's Vacation, and
Yeah.
all of the sandwich names are rides or characters
Nice.
from
Yeah.
the movie. So
Wow.
we could do that. We could make the ToV Comments happen. Okay, this giant sandwich.
there's nothing but raw meat between two.
Just ready for
Moldy
any
pieces of
big
bread.
sandwich guy, you know? Like just
Yeah.
That would be. But you would need
So,
like
thank you
some
for the
type
laughs,
of
Tony. Thank you.
stinky cheese with it though. If it's ToV Comments, you need some
Oh,
type
yeah.
because
Okay, well-
ToV Comments is kind of like a gruesome
or
thing, so
spicy.
that could work too.
We can go pepper jack. That's
That's true. No, you need some like bitter cheese, like what's that? Gorgonzola? Is that the stinky cheese?
Sure.
yeah.
Uh,
Gorgonzola.
Yeah.
Let's go watch an episode of
Gorgonzola.
I want to eat it, but you know,
Chowder.
I think it's a great
Chowder,
idea.
Gorgonzola and 18 pieces of roast beef is the
There you
ToV.
go.
Anyway, back to the journal entry.
Heroscape.
35.
Yeah.
lore. So we have Raylan sitting in Tony Stark's Batcave, okay, and she's assembling a team. That's what's happening.
And we also have like Atlaga mentioned here too, although it's not part of this team,
No,
this team of Avenger type party.
but he is at the head of the table.
It's kind of like almost kind of like what's his name? Who's not an Avenger, but he's head of Shield. Come on, names.
You're talking
Fury?
about Nick Fury,
Fury?
yeah.
Yes. There you go.
The original Nick Fury.
Atlaga.
If you think about it.
Yeah. Why not? I'm all for that. I think I don't think Atlaga's ever been connected in that way, but I don't think there would be much. I'd say you're not wrong. You know.
No.
When it comes to.
No, I definitely know that this journal was released before Atlaga was revealed.
Mhm.
So when
For
he
sure.
was revealed, he was actually like a named character coming to lore. It's
That's
very
really
interesting. I think from this point forward, we kind of touched on it. Like the narrative really kind of starts to tell a story. Before this point, it was kind of just things happening.
We're
But
trying
this
to
is
figure
like
stuff
there's
out.
a mission. There's actual heroes of Heroscape kind of getting introduced and playing a vital role in the development of the war. So I think it's very interesting that who they picked. I suspect that Einor just sent Shiori like, yeah, I don't want her anyways. You can have her. I'm not risking any of my troops.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this starts connecting too with like the webisode that was released as well as a secret webisode.
Yeah.
Those characters coming together. So I mean, when it comes behind the scenes, when it comes to just writing lore for the game, but as well as like the production side of things, people had to make sure everything kind of fit as best as possible. Even though for like video film production, as long as you're not straying too far, you can tend to do your own thing a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is when it all starts coming together, and you start seeing that alliance. Obviously, who is it? Oh my goodness, what's with me and names tonight?
Just keep talking. Give us details.
Yeah,
We'll help you out.
The other Valkyrie general who's in Takela. Come on, Aquila. There you go.
Aquila. Okay.
Aquila's not mentioned in this, but eventually becomes part of that alliance a little bit as well. So, and yeah, okay. Wait, Ular, Jandar, Einar, Vidar. Why does it feel like one's missing? Is it just
Ukkar?
Aquila?
Ular, you don't have Ular.
Ular.
No, Ular's there. Ular, Jandar, Einar, Vidar.
Yeah,
So
Ukkar
yeah,
is
it's just a
he's
key.
the one they're fighting against.
Yeah, so it's just Aquila missing. Okay, then. I don't know. Again, I'm very confused tonight. Apparently, but yeah. So we have this alliance, and it's so interesting when it comes to Age of Annihilation. that alliance is gone. Although the fragmentations of what this past alliance created originally, you still have the original team of Raylan Shiori, Drake Alexander, Q10, now Q11, and Shiori, still interacting with each other, still holding on to those bonds, not wanting to get into renegade lore too deeply, but just saying that those bonds still remain from what they experienced at this time. So it's very interesting. And when it comes to the webisodes really plan that too, because when they join together, they're not a cohesive team. They're not a cohesive unit. They even Raylan and Drake Alexander, who are direct general allies. They are of the same group. They're kind of like oil and water. If you read the last webisode script and stuff, it takes them time to develop a bond together. So let alone the other characters.
It feels like it's the first time you're playing with that army, and then by the time we get to AOA, it's like the second time you played that army.
Yeah.
I wish the AOA versions honestly had a bit more like interconnectivity, like to build them all up as an army, like to
That
kind
would
of
be cool.
showcase that development. Like, oh, if Raylan's on your team, you have +1, whatever, and Shiori, like just kind of highlight that. I think it would have been a really cool design space to explore.
Mm.
It would be.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, Sonlin. I forgot. Sonlin was another one part of that.
Sonlin Zular, yeah.
Yep. But it would be an interesting thing because we don't know what's going to happen in the future in future lore. There could be an instance to where they do all join together on some future scenario update, which would be really, really cool to have a scenario, an official scenario, to where you do use all of them at once and they undergo some other journey or quest. That would be kind of cool because they've all have gone through change. Some more than others, but they've all have gone through it, and that would be a kind of a unique scenario to bring them together. And okay, what threat is coming up next that they need to hold strong together, even if it's not under the authority of Valkyrie generals, because they're all right now currently split. Those bonds of friendship is what's moving them forward, and understand it's like it doesn't matter if anyone's ordering us or not. We know what the right thing to do is, and that the bonds of friendship hold stronger than what a general's telling you what to do, what leader's telling you what to do. So but that's just me speculating. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's just the inner storyteller in me thinking. So
sure.
Any other thoughts? Thoughts on this?
Yeah. I was doing some digging here about dates of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Heroscapers.com news section, I found 2 news entries talking about Thormun journal releases. So in June 30th, 2008, we have Chapter 4 announcement, which is obviously I haven't got to yet. So presumably that means what we're reading right now is before June 30th, 2008. Okay. And there is another post from June 6, 2007 on Heroscapers.com in the news section, which links to a Thormun's Journal URL, which is probably Chapter 3. But I'm just kind of reading by the URL parameters, and it obviously goes to a Hasbro redirect page these days. Now, June 2007 was just a few months before Swarm of the Morrow was released officially, so it's quite possible these things came out a few months ahead of Swarm of the Morrow to go ahead and promote that storyline.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
For sure, it makes sense.
Thank you for looking that up. That's really helpful.
Jason, that takes me back to, my goodness, 2007, 2008. Just kidding.
A long time ago.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say about that. All right, any other thoughts about this? I mean, this is just basically get ready for what's next. Next time we read more Thormun's journal. But
it's starting to get pretty good. We've gone through the first. It's really cool to see the narrative growth. It starts with there are vipers. This guy summoned them. They're in his army. They're snakes to kind of these like very strong interpersonal connections and character moments. You get a very strong sense of personality from Shiori just from the couple of paragraphs we introduce her in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have identity of these characters, and it's not important. It's not essential to gameplay, but I think that's why so many people to this day are still attached to these characters. Is when your character has a story, and that's reflected both in the mechanics and in the visual appearance of the character. There's a connection there that you form. It's more than just a plastic figure. It's a unit with a story and a backstory and goals and ambitions. So it's like, I don't know, you gotta take a dip into their mindset and kind of relate to that unit a bit more. So I appreciate, like, they didn't have to do this back in the day, but I'm glad it exists and still kind of continues onward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as an adult, I just want more. I want more story. I want more bios about these characters and like more in-depth information. It's so fascinating. And I get it. There are so many characters in this game. I get it. So many. But everybody attaches themselves to something, right? You know, Ryan loves the bugs. I love the Morrow. I also love robots. I like Soulborgs. I want to know more about Soulborgs. So I'm sure somebody at Renegade headquarters working on Heroscape is hopefully working on some kind of lore book, taking a lot of this information and compiling it into an actual book. You know, would I be okay with a PDF file too? Yes. But I think a physical item that we can put on the shelf in the background, add it to either Josiah's or Jason's sets, you know, but as I'm sitting here in the void.
Photographs, maps, dates, calendars,
exactly.
Like a whole in-depth book, please. I would love it.
Yeah. and like you said, like hopefully crossing our fingers that Thormun becomes a Valkyrie general in the next master set, and it comes with the book. You know, or that's the pre-order bonus, I should say.
I'd take it.
That'd be dope.
You know, within reason, even if it costs something, I'd be like, I pay it.
Yeah. Oh, easy. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I drop a decent amount of money for a well done lore compilation with like a bunch of like behind the scene designer note. Like they really took their time.
That
and
too
really
would be
made
great.
It like an homage to both Heroscape, but to the design process. Like scrapped ideas for characters, you know, kind of catalog it all. Like this is what Sergeant Drake originally looked like. Originally he had like a bazooka instead of a grab. You know, like all these like design changes that go into the finished product is stuff that really fascinates me as well.
Imagine if they had the figure. It's like, wait, that doesn't look like a rocket launcher. It looks like a grappling hook. And they're like, oh, that's a better idea. Well, let's make it a grappling hook.
Yeah,
you can grapple things. All right. Any other thoughts about this before we close this segment up? I think we got it pretty good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's taking a look at Journal Entry 35, the beginning of what will eventually be the Swarm of the Morrow storyline. Can't wait to get into it at a future time. So until next time, this is taking a look at the last journal entry of Travels and Travails, and moving on to the next journal entry of like Swarm of the Morrow next time.
Chapter 4, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So let me get this. Okay, stop sharing. And so we're going to look at a few comments here.
Comments.
Couple comments. Just a couple. Whoa! I don't need that. What I need is no. I don't need that either. Where are these things? Okay, there we are. All right, got one little one and then got one big one here. Share this, and the okay, the bread thing might end up becoming a meme sometime. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, bread. Yes.
All right. That's just funny stuff. Yeah. Putting bread in my thumbnails. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in the chat, it's all about the bread, which is great. All right, so let's take a few comments here. Okay, first comment is from John Angelo. It says, "Dude," and this was from one of my painting streams. "Dude, you're a lefty. I know there's something I like about you. Great stuff, Ryan. Thanks for inspiring." Yes, left-handed here. Someone finally caught me being the left-handed painting skills stuff, and. I think one of the main things I do about this channel is to be as inspiring as possible, because I want to encourage people to do what they want to do, especially if it pertains to Heroscape. And yeah, it's not like I try and hide that I'm left-handed, but that is what it is. So.
Oh, you're left-handed? I don't think we could be friends anymore.
This changes everything.
It changes everything. Absolutely. It changes nothing.
You told me you were all right, but now you.
What's wrong with this doctor?
But yeah, thank you so much, Joan and Jello, for the comment. All right, and then the next one. This one's kind of actually this one's kind of a couple paragraphs. So
I like it.
This comes from the time of this recording, this month's Renegade scenario.
Oh, okay.
So some of you might not know what's going on with this, but this comes from Iceman3317, and Josiah, you might remember that name because we did one of Iceman's scenarios beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Love that scenario that he wrote up. And it says, "I wonder who the Feyri are. I wonder if it is a new type of Kiri, similar to the Gelri, but yeah, I agree. I love that we are getting journals again. There is so many letters going back and forth, and we aren't getting a big picture of what is going on in the world. I love Sonlin, but following just him as a solo traveler with an occasional companion is really hard to follow." Okay. I'm just read through it. Then I know what he's getting at here. "And it seems like all these letters and journals have happened in a span of only about a month thus far, since we are still in Dagmar. And then the last few journals / letters have not had very much to do with the maps we are getting." And it says, "As for the new map," yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say the maps talking about like the scenario maps, not
Right.
actual maps. Gotcha. Okay.
"As for the new map we are getting, while we don't know for sure exactly what it is of, it has been said that it will not be the map that was redone a few years ago." And then I think in this instance he's talking about the actual Valhalla map. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That's all that was said, and would be on the new dice tray. Okay. Because I asked if it was the old map or a new map, and was just told that all we could be told right now is that it is not the map that was redone a few years back. That being said, with Ukar canonically winning Steam Alley, Valkyrian Wasteland has expanded to Takala to an unknown degree, but Aquila wants to reclaim it. Okay, I didn't know that. Plus, with snowfields of Valhalla box, we also know that the cold has expanded further, and that the Forgotten Forest... Okay, yeah, we do kind of know that, yeah. Forgotten Forest has been covered in snow and has not had any snow melt, climate change, guys, in the last few years, so the map has changed drastically. So I feel like it kind of has to be a new map if they plan to release something with the map in it. I'm sure it's going to be a variation of what the Valhalla map used to be, but hopefully, you see more, because where does Revna come from, and yeah, the topography might change a little bit, because land continents tend to change. It's not like even here on this wonderful ball of a planet we call Earth, topography, even our land is constantly changing. This is why we got earthquakes. It's a whole science of geologically.
Sure.
Everything's in motion, even if we can't really see it. So the map has changed drastically. So I feel like it kind of has to be a new map if they plan to release something with the map on it. hopefully we will get a non-dice tray image of the map as well, so we can make posters of it. I hope so, Iceman. But let me go back to what he was talking about in this first paragraph. So in the stream, I was talking about the fact that, my one critique, and it's a critique that I understand that why they're doing what they're doing, but just for me, I don't like the fact that everything's coming out piecemeal when it comes to the scenarios. I understand why it's done. Don't get me wrong. I understand why it's done, because this is for a miniature game. It's just bringing people along. But I just like the story written out, just all in one sitting, for me just to go through it all and not have to wait until, okay, here's the next one. Not exactly sure if it's going to coincide with what I wrote before directly, but gonna keep on reading. I just rather have everything, boom, put in front of me, so I can take it all in. So that was my main critique, and I think Iceman's agreeing with me a little bit, even though, like I said, with the caveat that I understand this is what Renegade has to do for this, but for me, myself, and I, that was just a critique I had. So, and I think some people.
But Ryan,
yeah.
Ryan, if that was the case, we should have been doing a 4-hour stream where we read through all of the journal entries.
As a content creator, you should love the monthly releases.
Come on.
That's a good. No, and I do. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's like a devil's advocate.
It is hard to keep up with the ongoing. I honestly don't even kind of keep up as much. I kind of wait till there's 3 or 4, then read them all in a big chunk. Mm-hmm. Is kind of what I do now, because my memory is that of a goldfish. There's a lot the Iceman touched on in that diatribe there. First thing, the fairies is a reference to Feyland fairies,
right?
If we were to assume, because it's a poem from the Ashra, the warriors of Ashra. So hopefully it could just be the poem itself just kind of means beware of nice gifts, because they often have sharp teeth type of mentality.
It was a warning, basically. It was.
But I also would love some Phelan fairies as well. I think following Valerak, little mischievous gremlin fairies would be really cool to have to the game. It's something that why don't we have that?
Yeah. Not the fairies what you think, but because I've seen a horror film at one point, and it could have been called Fairy, that was little critters that bite and they shred people a lot, dark these characters that are not these nice pixie what you would imagine. It'd be dope.
Yeah, any magical creatures, they tend to turn into horror movie vibes quite quickly. I mean, my goodness, what did they turn?
Don't bring it up.
Didn't they turn the Thanksgiving turkey into rampaging murderous? Yeah, they did that.
Yes.
They did that.
Really?
Thanksgiving, I think it was called. Or is that
something like that?
No, that could have been something else. What is that one?
It was so. I mean, it's so. I haven't seen it, but just the whole premise is so hilarious. It's I gotta watch this sometime just to see.
It is. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving from 2008.
Yeah, that is.
Oh my goodness, it's been that long. My goodness, I thought it was more recent. Wow.
Through poor quality.
You could have played Swarm of the Morrow and then watched Thanksgiving all in one night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And also the map. The map we've seen so far is only a small part of the Valhallan world. There's a whole half of the map that's ripped off. This is just one landmass, one continent. Right. I love to see other. Also you talk about topography. The Volcarian Wastelands is a land bridge that appeared overnight. It's just a. So there's a lot going on there for a new map, new places to explore.
And even in Tales of Valhalla, when my characters visit the Vulcanian Wasteland, they comment on how much has changed since the events of Swarm of the Morrow has happened, to where how they've crossed it before isn't going to work. That's why they kind of do an alternative form of travel through Vulcanian Wasteland in the series. So I mean, even my series, I kind of indicate that point, because that's what happens to that type of volcanic landmass. It's not going to remain the same. So yeah, but yeah, I'm hoping for, you know, they bet, because if well, I'm not going to say that. I'm hoping for, you know, a just as good, if not better, map than what we currently have to use for it, because how's the map we have? I don't know, it's pretty darn old. However it was made.
20 years old.
20 years old. Yep.
Gotta be.
Yep. Things change. Land changes. But yes, thank you so much, Iceman. Wait, not Angelo. There you go. Okay, Iceman 3317 for the comment, and thank you for giving us some commentary on this, because, you know, some interesting points. So until next time, thank you so much for those comments. And anybody who wants to comment on the stream, you might never know. We might talk about it just here. So feel free to leave whatever comment you have. Really, aside of absolute hatred of whatever, we can probably bring it on here. Whatever opinions you have, we'd like to talk about it. So
yeah, and I'll pose the question to all of you listeners and viewers. Let's talk about Heroscape sandwiches. Name a character or squad or whatever,
I'm
and then what is that sandwich? What's on there? What condiments?
You never know what's gonna.
I generally want to know what you guys think. What sandwiches are out there? I'll come up with one myself. All right. So
I need a Silveris sandwich, because that just rolls right off the tongue there. You know, I don't know what it would be.
I'll take 2 Silverises to go, please. That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Maybe since it's elves, you know, based off you know, the dietary.
I mean,
what? No, you know,
a lot of veggies, right? Do you make it a vegetarian sandwich?
This is what I was thinking, because in The Hobbit, even though. Okay, we're getting to Lord of the Rings for a second. But
does Valhalla have tacos? Skateboard says.
They better. But no, when it comes to Lord of the Rings and
Thank you.
Peter Jackson's The Hobbit, this is one thing I mean, there's plenty of things to not like about The Hobbit, don't get me wrong, but this is one thing primarily I do not like about The Hobbit when they visit Rivendell. And the the characters are feasting at Elrond's table. If you read Lord of the Rings, that is not what Elrond's table is like. They have all variety kinds of food, but they make Elrond's table in The Hobbit look like it's a vegan factory, and that is not what Elrond's house provides. It is all forms of food, no matter where you come from, and they make that look like a vegan enterprise when it should not be. Elves, but yes, that. I say that to say this, that yes, I think a Silvaris connected to elves, connected to that version of The Hobbit, might be an interesting way of putting like a vegan or vegetarian sandwich together. So yeah, I agree with it.
Agree.
Derek's hobby's interest in life mode says the R-rated Battle of Five Armies is enjoyable. Is there an R-rated Battle of Five Armies?
I'm sure if you type it in, it's on YouTube somewhere. I wonder if Quarter Crew did that.
Is it a YouTube? Okay, well. Okay, if you have not watched the original animated Hobbit version, was done back in the 70s or 80s or whatever, that is, you know, pretty intense. Yes, you know, old animation, but I love that original Hobbit movie. That's fun. That's what I grew up on when it comes to Hobbit and Lord.
The Ralph Bakshi ones.
Yes, those just classic stuff. All right, so here, let me drop this. I'm gonna stop sharing. So we got There Ain't No More. Here. And Premium Escape, no to the Drake Burger.
Welcome to Drake Burger. Can I take your order?
Welcome to Drake Burger, home of the Drake Burger. May I take your order? Yeah. That's something. All right.
Well, no, we know Drake would be a hero sandwich.
Yeah, come on. That's literally the whole idea.
Gotta be.
We could literally call it Heroscape. Or Heroes Escapes Heroes? I don't know.
No, it would be Hero Sub. It would be
Hero
Sub, yeah.
because
Hero is a sub. So
Yeah.
they in certain parts of Jersey they call sandwiches different things. So there's a sub, a hero, I think a grinder is another one that they call. So it would be like hero. I think it just would be called Heroscape.
It's a very sub shop.
What do you
Nine
guys
inch
think?
subs.
Tell us.
There you go.
Tell us what you guys think. Do some research. Give us a gyroscape. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Gyroscape.
There you go.
Every good one.
Heroscape.
I am getting hungry.
Oh, I see.
And even though this is probably gonna be a short podcast, because we'll run out of material, but that's fine. Let's just.
I could talk for 40 more minutes about sandwiches.
Yeah, I know. What do we like?
Yeah,
Like,
we could. I'll let you guys go. Go ahead.
But no, I think we're good.
Hoagiescape. There you go.
Hoagiescape. I have that one too.
This is now okay. I just had a burst of inspiration here. There needs to now be YouTube channel content for Heroscape food kitchen stuff. You know, like Heroscape themed cooking channel. There you go. I don't know who's gonna do it. It ain't gonna be me.
Because I remember talking to
Awesome.
Rowan and
Adam.
what? Huh?
Hexala?
Adam, yes.
Yeah,
oh my
Hexala.
god.
Yeah.
Hexala about mixed drinks. Heroscape based on the power moves. Cocktails would be awesome.
Heroscape cookbook. It's like, come on.
Yeah. So pair your hero, your sub, your hoagie with a mixed cocktail of a power of that character. Let's see him in the comments.
Because I don't think.
Let's see him.
I can ask Jason. Jason, is there like a Warhammer 40k cookbook out there that you know of?
I don't know if there's Warhammer 40k, but there is a BattleTech one that actually just came out like last year for some reason.
That's not the one I would expect because I know there's a D&D one. That's obvious, but
Well, obviously. But,
okay.
Yeah, no, I was thinking because this is and I challenge it because I mean I don't know for sure, but I don't think that's something Warhammer 40k can do is do some type of because I mean Warhammer 40k is very dark, and I don't know what you would use.
You're telling me that the Ultramarines aren't sitting down to have a grilled cheese and mac and with tomato sauce?
No,
no,
they don't do that. No.
Oh,
that is.
I don't know
totally
if they
not
ever
the character.
mentioned the Space Marines eating anything in the handful of novels I read about them. They just
because
they're only talking about the battles, the fun stuff. No one wants to know when they go to the bathroom.
Don't.
It's like a movie, right? It's like a movie. No one watches people go to the bathroom or eat a sandwich unless it has to do something with the story.
This is the thing filmmakers think about often too. Is like when do they go to the bathroom?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Because at some point during Die Hard, he had to go. I mean, you're telling me he just isn't. He's taking a leak in one of those vents, okay? All of a sudden, a guard is walking by a vent. Something drops him. He goes, "What? Huh? What is that? What does this smell like? Piss? What is going on?"
And stepping aside on the subject for a second, Derek says, playing Doom the Dark Ages, I feel Heroscape needs actual demons. Actually, that's one thing Roguescaper asked me when we chatted about my channel, like, I think it was last year. He asked me, like, what unit would you like to see? And I said something, like, demon-related would be fun.
Yeah, not, like let's expand on the Meso Demons. I know, we're stepping into a different dangerous territory. But something like that would be so... I mean, the bugs are pretty close. Not demons, but like something like that, though.
Something.
Same goes for the Iron Lich. The Eisenecks. That's not demons, but very Doom-like, though.
Yeah, Derek says, whatever the 10th Regiment of the Foot tastes like, I don't want it. Or of foot. 10th Regiment of Foot.
Yes! I don't like it either.
Premium skip. My next thumbnail is definitely got a piece of bread with Drake laying on it. Y'all might to get the joke, but I will look at it and feast on that to my heart's content. Premium skip. Skateboard says, I can see Sergeant Drake talking about corn dogs and burritos around the campfire with the crew. Charos ice cream. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. We need a Heroscape cooking channel now. I'm just saying, like, I don't know who's gonna do it. But
That's a niche that hasn't been filled yet.
I will promote it till all ends of the earth if that happens. Excuse me. All right.
Yeah.
How about...
And Premiumscape said minions of Ukar are like demons, but once again, Kyrie. Yeah, so we have a lot of things that look like demons, have a theme like demons, but other than like meso demons,
I want something to really freak me out. To be like, I'm not going to bow.
You're telling me Maladrix doesn't creep you out. So what does Maladrix do to you?
This is what Maladrix does to me. My queen, I serve you. I'm not horrified. I need to be horrified. So
they do like bugs. Lots of excitement. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. But we do need to wrap.
See, this is what I wish most of our podcasts were like.
Just kind of.
We just kind of, shooting the shit about it's Heroscape related things.
Just wherever for the night, but it's good when you have a fun active chat too, as well.
That's also true.
But we definitely should wrap because then we talk too long and then it's midnight. So how about we plug away our channels and such? Joe, go ahead. Just newly married
what?
Joe.
Yes, newly married Joe.
Married man.
I am a married man.
Yes,
I'm taking ladies. So I'm back to it. I'm working on some scripts, so don't worry. Content is coming soon. But yeah, last weekend I got married. It was super fun. Ryan came. It was awesome. I was so happy to meet his family for the first time. They're fantastic. And we had a great time. Great party. My wife Jill and I danced the night away. Somehow a glow stick got in the pool. Don't know how. Somebody threw it. Not me. Totally not me. I'm serious. Really not me. But it was pretty awesome. Like Ryan kind of teased it in the premium chat. What do we call that? What do we call the chat before this podcast?
Backstage.
The backstage, yeah. Talked about some Halo music. I had some Halo music playing.
Become a member.
And for any of the Portal fans out there, I found like a Frank Sinatra inspired big band version of "Want You Gone" from Portal 2 that I danced and sung to at the end of the night.
Nice.
That made
Was the wedding cake a lie?
The wedding cake is a lie. You know what? I did forget. I should have done that. I should have figured out a way to make it a lie. There was no cake at the wedding. Maybe I'll start gaslighting everybody.
Well, I mean, we left kind of early, so my family definitely had no cake from the wedding. So.
Yeah, I didn't have any cake. Yeah. Yes. So Heroscape stuff. Yes, content is coming soon. Lots of big surprises. I will tease it again. If you guys go back to a What's Going On, Santa brought me a big box. Go check out that thing. That box has been opened. There are a bunch of things in there. I cannot wait to talk about it. I am writing a script. I'll film it next week and hopefully have it out by the end of May. Fingers crossed. Big video. So I will end it there. Thank you. I will yield my time. And don't forget, I'm not crazy. I'm Joe Crazy.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Jason from the Tabletop Battlefield. You can find my content over on YouTube at Rocker Robotics.
Alrighty. No, because I've watched some of your videos recently. Like you've had a lot of like interesting content lately on there. So.
Oh, I'm going down I'm basically trying to play around with the YouTube algorithm, and by trying to hijack into more recent news stories, and given the fact the whole terror situation is actually kind of exciting with the tabletop game industry, it's actually real news and not just shiny new figures.
Exciting is the one way to put it, yep.
Exciting is one way to put it. I mean, it's not too often you get random tabletop game companies suing the President of the United States, so you know.
It makes things interesting, for sure. All right. So yeah, definitely check out Jason's channel for sure. Thank you. All right, Josiah, go ahead.
And yeah, I'm just out of the Roguescaper. I was trying to think what's going on recently. I'm probably going to be uploading a little bit less just because this is the road leading up to the various cons. I will be going to both Gen Con and ScapeCon, so definitely be on the lookout for me if you're going to either of those. Say hi. And ask me for a sticker. Maybe I'll give you a sticker if I have one on hand. Recently sent Sir Heroscape some figures. I mentioned that at the beginning of the stream. You can check his most recent video, I think it's Sir Heroscape News, where he showcases some of them off. That was a great opportunity to do that. Have some tutorials always cooking in the back burner when I get around to doing them, and some future streams for some cool figures coming up. So definitely, if you're interested in learning more about the artistic side of Scape, wanting to paint or kind of get, you probably see me all stream painting some figures. I'm always doing that kind of stuff, trying to make it as accessible for a new beginner as possible to kind of dive into it. And I got some other fun things I'm kicking around, getting out there as well. As soon as I force myself to edit and actually compile my 2 hard drives of footage into stuff. But yeah, just definitely check it out. It's going to be an exciting season for us and for me, and I yield my time.
All right, thank you. And of course, I'm Ryan, Tales of Valhalla, and I'm very, very lucky that we were able to stream tonight because, as you know, or some of you know, in this part of the United States, had some pretty terrible tornadoes. I live just south of Somerset, so that affected a lot of people. Some people that we kind of know, and that was kind of rough. But in addition to that, we've had all kinds of weather in this state, and if I just talk about this for a second, they had lots of flooding, which thankfully did not affect us, like me and my family directly. Here where we're living, but something did happen a few weeks ago that I want to mention because I think it's important too. We did have, and like I said, these weather events, they rarely happen here, and it's just funny how they're just all compiled together, and just throughout this year. But a few weeks ago, we had a hailstorm here in the town that I live in, and I'm talking about like golf ball, baseball sized hail. It totally ripped apart one side of our house, and the window that's behind me, I have an inside and outside pane. The outside pane shattered, and then one of the inside panes here shattered and got glass all over inside here. It was pretty intense, and so a lot of work needs to be done repairing that. But thankfully, when all that occurred, we had left 4 hours previous to this, and this kind of ends to where when I usually say you have a purpose in your life. Although this is a different sentiment, because on all other accounts, we should have been here. And if we were, I don't know what would have happened because it was like around 5 o'clock in the afternoon when this event occurred. But we left 4 hours previous because, and got totally saved too from it, because there could have been possible injury. I could have been sitting right here at this desk when glass shattered from that event. Our one of our vehicles probably could have gotten pretty damaged, but we left the house 4 hours early because we had a friend a few months ago invite us to a wedding. And it's interesting how things take place to where sometimes you can't convince me there isn't a God. Because if I hadn't have met Joe and developed a friendship with him, I've never been invited to a wedding. We never would have traveled to New Jersey. We never would have left home mere hours before such a destructive event had occurred. Probably saving us from some type of bodily injury, because we're sometimes, outside in our yard often, and this hailstorms come like there's no warning. definitely saved our vehicle from whatever destruction that could have happened to it. So this is just one of the reasons why I do this channel is to interact with the people I interact with, because you never know. You never know. The people you meet, the people you share bonds with, might end up just someday saving you. And that's not without saying there's still a lot of stuff happens. You can't avoid everything from happening, but I just love this little nod to know that not alone, and I still have reasons to keep on going. So I appreciate all you guys here on the panel, everybody in the chat. And I always end it with the sentiment, you have a purpose in your life, find it, pursue it, live it, because I also agree with that sentiment as well. You all take care. Let's see here. Derek saying one more thing in the chat. Thankful and adding prayer of thanksgiving to you and your family being preserved and safe. Glad you still have a home. Absolutely. Especially with storms. We still have storms coming up this week. So still, keep us in prayer. Those of you who do pray. Appreciate it. And as long as there's breath in my body, I'll still keep on going, because running this channel is something that I really believe in, because it inspires you, and that in turn inspires me. So thank you all very much. We'll see you probably this Wednesday when I do whatever I'm going to do on this stream. So yeah, appreciate you all. And I guess I'll just repeat the sentiment. Do you have a purpose in your life? Find it, pursue it, and live it. And we'll see all of you next time. Later now. Bye-bye.